Hey, and welcome to Where Music Meets the Soul. Today, I am honored to be with I don't even know, you're a god in the world of music, Melissa Etheridge. I've known about you since day one, and the more research I do on you, the more I fall in love with you.
Oh, you're very, very sweet. It's such a pleasure to be here talking to you.
And the crazy thing is, I think your ability to write music has to do with your ability to connect with your fans. And I was telling you earlier before we started that your life is a mirror of my life. Mm. Things that have happened to you, I can automatically, you came from a backwoods town.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to say that. It's not negative. I'm so happy I came from where I did.
I love being from Kansas, yes.
Yeah, being from Woodstock makes me feel like, I tell people all the time that my parents threw me out of the house at 9 in the morning and said, come back when it's dark. And that is a true thing. Yes. And Kansas, what could you do? The worst case, you fell off like something.
Your bicycle, yeah. No, it was, you just bicycled everywhere. And you were back by, when the streetlights came on.
So you were born in Kansas. You got your first guitar when you were 8 years old from your dad.
Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of guitar it was?
Yeah, it was a Stella by Harmony. It was a Harmony guitar.
Really? Mine was a PV.
Okay.
I couldn't afford the real stuff, so I got the PV. And you went to Berkeley.
For a few weeks, yeah.
And I always said that was funny because I went to U of A to be a civil engineer, and no one told me when I went to U of A to be a civil engineer that I wouldn't like civil engineering. So maybe I should have tested that before I spent 4 years.
Oh, well, I did want to be a musician. It was just 1979, and there were like 2 women out of 60 or whatever in my guitar class, and it was a different time, and I wanted to just get out there and play, and I got a job at a restaurant down the street, and I was making enough to pay rent.
And we're interviewing today because you're doing a benefit for Many Mansions,
right? Yeah.
And it's funny because we have you, which has been my goal, but we have Oriante and we have Beth Hart, and we specialize in those. We're going to try to get Beth to come out to the event.
I was just going to, I love Beth.
I will beg
her.
We
will. We tell her we just have to do something together. We have to kill
because
something.
Beth and you and Oriante,
that's rock. That is it.
So I'm impressing you.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I'm totally overwhelmed with the fact you're here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about your son, because I know you had a major tragedy in your life. And I had a major tragedy in my life, and I will try not to cry. But I really feel bad.
Yeah, no, it's
no one can explain what it's like to lose a child.
I was actually just talking to one of my other children today, and I said, being a parent, it's the greatest joy of my life and the greatest sorrow. It's both, and that's just the way it is, and it's going to be like that. And some of us have to feel that sort of pain. There's not a word for when you lose your child. There's orphan, there's widow, but there's no name for it because it's one of the most painful. Yeah, and it shouldn't have happened. And we hold on to a lot of guilt and shame, and we have to make sure that doesn't make us sick.
Well, that's what your song was about. It's about you got to step up and live your life.
Yeah, you have to. And you can have them right here all the time in your heart.
Right.
And that's where they are. And I'm so grateful. I loved someone so much that I still miss him that much.
Right. My son, he has his grandson, William, and he came to my wife and said, now I understand.
Oh,
and
ouch.
Before you wouldn't have.
No, you can't. You can't understand. Oh, yeah, I would gladly change places. I would step in front of the train.
They don't get you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have your other kids.
Oh, do I?
And it doesn't make it any more or less, but it's everyone is an individual.
Yeah, and I appreciate how my children who are all now, my youngest are like 19, so we're in the adult world, and we remember him, and he's with us, and I think the way that we have handled it is healthy, so I'm grateful for that.
I'm glad, and to hear that stuff, and to hear that your family can either get closer or it can fall apart, and it's our job to keep them closer.
Yeah.
So you're doing the Many Mansions, which is, in my heart, I don't drink anymore. And I know when the Many Mansions, it's about like getting people back on their feet.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you are giving back, because most of the time I see you, you're doing charity.
Well, I do enough. I keep myself okay. I live out there in Hidden Hills, and I'm all right. Especially locally, I do love to contribute having the abundance that I have, and
But how many people
the joy.
contact you to do these fundraisers?
Well, a lot, because there's a lot,
And it's hard because you have to say no. You can't do every of them.
Right? No, and I am particular, and this one is someone very close to me has asked me for years. Norm,
Right. Norm from Rare Guitars.
Norm's Rare Guitars, and he has done so much for me and taken so much of my money, gratefully. And he's finally said, "Can you do it?" I said, "Yes, I will." I shot a video there, so I at Norm's.
Yeah.
And so he said, "Hey,
Well, every Super Bowl we go to Richie Sambora's party with Norm.
Yes, absolutely.
And like, you love his plays. I love his, like, if you haven't been to Norm's Rare Guitars, you need to go.
Even if you're not a guitar player, just to feel the history and the whole
to see
idea
who's in the room playing.
I walk in there all the time, and I'm like, "Hello, everybody. I need this." And it's a place we go, and I adore Norm, and he's such a part of the Midnight Mission and the mansions, and he's just I would do anything for him. This is something I've always wanted to do for him.
And you've worked with everybody, because I know that you did a lot with Shooter Jennings. I always get him and his dad mixed up.
Oh, I know.
So
Waylon is the dad. Yeah,
right. And Waylon played for us, so I get that. And Shooter, I think, played a fundraiser, didn't they, Lou? Yeah,
I'm sure he
Shooter
did.
played something, and it always amazes me because, like, the Foo Fighters played there, and when I walk up, we always thanks for the music, which your name's going up there.
Mm-hmm.
We thank it, and when I read who played there, it is mind-numbing. Because I think about House of Blues when I started House of Blues.
Yeah, I was there a lot.
Yeah, but no one knew, like, we were new.
Yeah.
Because remember, in the 80s, it was a big black box.
It was right there. Yeah, and I remember right where it was in Sunset.
Oh, yeah.
And you just go in, but it
know that was a debacle.
I know, but I was grateful. That was right. It was pure 90s to me, that early 90s, late 80s, the House of Blues right there. It was historic to me.
Yeah.
I had some great times.
Isaac Tigert was my boss.
Yeah.
And we bought the property, we started building it, and out of the blue, he came up and said, "Flip it around." and that's why the load-in, you have to back down the hill and go right. And you think to yourself, because he used to do things like everything was feeling with him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like any logistical, that doesn't make sense.
No, you couldn't enter it from Sunset Boulevard. You had to go all the way right, all the way down and around. Yeah.
And I remember it worked out to be an advantage later on because we didn't screw up Sunset Boulevard. We screwed up the neighborhood, but the neighborhood began to hate us. Now it's a hotel.
Yes.
Yeah, the location moved.
Wow.
So you want to tell us a little bit about what is the event for and what are we doing? What are we going to be doing at the event?
It's February 11th.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the Canyon Club.
In Agora Hills.
In Agora Hills. And it's for the Midnight Mission. And this is an organization that provides meals for the homeless in Los Angeles. And driving down here, I realize there's just more and more homeless. And it is, it's an issue that we know is not easily solved when mental illness is involved. And so what we can do is provide meals and support.
You're not fixing the problem, but what you're doing is making it so that it gives people the opportunity to be able to fix themselves.
Exactly.
Because you and I know that, like, in your writings, I see that your writings is fixing yourself.
Yes, that's the best thing, actually, each individual can do. Can you imagine if everyone was really taking care of themselves instead of trying to make everybody change so they feel better?
Well, I'm a male, so my impression is to suppress everything.
Yes.
And pretend it doesn't happen, and that's why I go through blithering idiot. Because when it finally comes out, I can't control it at all.
Oh, well, emotions are interesting things, and it's important for us to take care of ourselves and then be an example to children and other people about what it looks like to take care of yourselves and then exhibit happiness from that.
So that event, I know Oriante said she was coming.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to convince Beth. I know she's going through a lot, but if we can get Beth to come out.
Tell her I'll give her a big hug and we'll sing a beautiful song together.
And I will help her in any way she needs to, because it always amazes me, because that's when you guys call us and say, "Can we use your building?"
Yeah.
Because Beth is way bigger than the Canyon. You're way bigger than the Canyon. The Foo Fighters are way bigger than the Canyon. but at least
There's nothing like getting back to that small feeling again.
Do you like doing
I
that?
love it. I came from that. I played for years. I started playing in bars in Kansas when I was 12, 13 years old, and I've done it ever since. I've never stopped.
Venny's bar? Venny's, how did you say that? Where did they find you? You were
Okay, well there was a couple places here in L.A. I played one place in Pasadena that was called Vermes.
Vermes,
it's a horrible name for it. And these are women's bars. These are lesbian bars, which is a whole other thing.
Right.
And then there was a bar in Long Beach where I was officially discovered by Chris Blackwell, but I had been turned down.
You've been officially discovered 10 times.
Yes, exactly. and an overnight sensation. And it was just. I love a bar. I love having people there. I love being able to see them. I love being able to talk. I love I don't get fazed by the noise, and if everyone screams and hollers, that's what I want. It's that.
Yeah,
exchange.
you're the exact opposite of Gordon Lightfoot, because when Gordon used to play, he wouldn't let us use like blended drinks because the blender was too loud.
If I had a good buddy as a bartender, they used to wait till I was done with the song and they'd turn it on like it was applause. I'm like, thank you very much.
That's funny because I had to actually move the ice machines out of the venues because I was into this efficiency thing.
Yeah.
So I put ice machines, but when they would cycle, and you're playing like a Gordon Lightfoot from Edmund Fitzgerald, you're like, oh, geez, that doesn't work.
No, I don't get that. I'm just grateful people want to come see me play,
Well, explain to us your writing style. Do you have a writing style, or is it just how you're feeling? Because you hear people get writer's block, and if I tell you to write me a song today,
I could.
Right, you could do that.
Is it going to be great? I don't know, but it's going to be a song. I could write you a song.
When you finish writing the song, do you know whether it's going to be good or not?
No, I know about feeling, and that's what after 50 years of writing songs. Right. I know that feeling. I know that, I like that. I want to sing that. And I figure if I like it and I want to sing it, there's a good chance someone else will like it.
I believe the same thing. I always think to people that everybody says we're so different. We're all identically the same. We're different by 5%.
Yeah.
We're not different by 200%. We're all basically the same. When I listen to your thought process on writing the songs, I analogize to every one of them. I see that, and I think that's what makes you so amazing as a songwriter, because you're feeling what you're feeling, and since we're all the same, we all get that same feeling.
Well, that was probably the biggest surprise for me, is how universal my very personal songs were. When I put out my first album, these songs were extremely personal to just me, my experience. This is how, and I was surprised every time I'd play it, and people would sing the songs and say, oh, I really relate to that. You're singing about me. I get it. And I thought, wow.
And it's hard for us as people not to believe that you were writing about us.
Well, of course, but the more personal I got, the more universal it was.
Really?
And there was something very, very comforting about that.
Remember We Are the World?
Well, who could forget?
You're going to put something back together like that, because that's the same thing, because we're all divided now, and it's crazy because we're not divided. We're all the same.
Exactly. Well, we don't understand our strengths, our differences, and we want differences. We don't want everyone to be alike. That's
right. So going horrible. Back to your son, that was because he was, the David Crosby connection, all of that stuff. Do you think that put a lot of extra pressure on him?
I don't know. His whole emotional experience with life was really intense from the very beginning. Having had 4 children now, I really see that someone can come into this world and kind of just be on guard about the world from the very beginning. My
parents tell me I was so serious at 4 years old.
Oh yeah, no, he's very, very serious, very very self-conscious, and you could see how then once adolescence hit, he had a really hard time, and that's when the trouble starts, and and you're raising 3 other kids and they're all fine, and you're like, what's going on here? So,
Right, and people that don't have a lot of children don't understand every child needs something different.
oh my God, yes.
If you treat everyone identically the same, even though you kind of got to pretend you're doing that.
Yeah, right.
But one child needs social help, and the other child needs financial help, and
The other one, just don't be an asshole, please. That sort of thing.
it's funny because out of the 5 biologicals, they all worked for me at the Canyon. And during the pandemic, I said, okay, because that's when I thought we were all dying.
Aww.
But the point is I said, everybody go and get their own job because I don't want the Canyon to drag down everybody.
Aw.
So with that happen, my youngest son, who has never been involved, decided he wanted to open a restaurant in Park City. And it's Sterling Steak and Lounge, and it's packed, and it's one of the #1 restaurants in Park City. And I didn't know he was paying attention.
Oh, how cool. Yeah. Our kids
Any of your
just surprise
kids
us.
taking after you?
No. That was, I thought for sure I'd have like a singing family and we'd all just harmonize. And
No Partridge Family.
no, my daughter, the oldest one, she's like, Mom, why would I want to do something that I would never be as good as my mother and my father, who was David Crosby?
Right.
And so I'm like, well, okay, I can understand that. And she works in finance and stuff like that.
And she's probably very good at
Yeah,
it.
very good, very happy.
Yeah, it's funny because when I see that, because I'm involved in a lot of sports, and my wife and I always talk about like the arrogance of football players. And I always say to her that if you're not that arrogant and you think other people are better than you, and you can't be on the stage, when I watch you get on the stage and play guitar, I think you're the best. Do you think
Yay.
you're the best?
Oh, I don't.
You think
I don't
you're
think
good?
of it as a competition. I think that I have gotten better and better, and I know sometimes I would listen to something and I'd say, "Did I play that?" And it's exciting because I enjoy getting better. I don't ever want to be the best. I don't want it to end. I just want to get better.
Because I'd like to, I look at you and the way you handle the guitar is a way like a construction worker can handle a bobcat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I've seen these guys like take a forklift and flip a penny off the ground.
Yes.
And I watched because I was a big Jimi Hendrix freak.
Oh.
Woodstock.
Yeah, of course.
So I would watch him play and I look at his fingers and I think, how is he doing that?
I'm so jealous of his hands. His hands are twice as big as mine. I think of what I could do if I had hands like his.
You don't have these.
No,
the
I've
fat
got little
fingers.
tiny fingers.
Your hands are as big as mine, and I'm bigger than you by a lot. So I couldn't play. So I could, but I own the largest collection of guitars. I think I own like 200-300 guitars.
Do not get me near anything. I'll be running to Norm's.
Well, Norm's, he's always jealous because I have a 1960 something Flying V that was given to me. And the funniest thing is, I couldn't play it. Do you know the wood Flying V, the Gibson?
Yes, I do.
It's so heavy.
It's ridiculous, and
You can't pick it up. And my uncle bought it for me, and it's worth a fortune. It's on the wall of a restaurant, but you can't play it. Did you ever play one?
I tried to play one. Actually, I got a new one a few years ago, and tried to play it, and I traded it into Norm's actually. And
really?
Like, I can't.
Yeah, because it just didn't work.
Right, and I like to use both my hands. The neck would constantly fall down, and
you have to be sitting down.
Yes, it wasn't meant for the way I am on stage.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're getting into the weeds talking about guitar
right,
balance.
which I could a long time.
So we're having the concert. We're going to do that. We're going to have all these other people attend. Mm-hmm. And what do you hope to get out of this?
Oh, I hope to have a fun evening of music and entertainment. I haven't toured since the fall. I'm on the road a lot. But once I come off, I haven't played November,
Does your family
December,
tour
January.
with you? Does your wife
they will.
tour?
Oh, my wife does. Yes, absolutely. When she can, she does it when she's not working.
Well, your kids being your youngest, 18, 19?
They're 19 now.
So are they, because I realized my kids when they turned 13 didn't want me around anymore.
Oh, yeah. It was cool because they would go on the road with me in the summer when they had on breaks from school, and they'd spend 3-4 weeks out there, and they love having the bunk on the bus, and they really got into the tour life, you know. Now the oldest one stopped doing that,
right?
You know,
well, as soon as they
ago.
get a girlfriend or boyfriend,
yeah, exactly, it's over. Yeah, it's all over. So, but I still got the other two, and they're going off to college. So
where are they going to college?
It's not March yet. I don't know.
Oh,
we have applied everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember, and I don't look forward to that at all, because you realize after you graduate, and the fact that it's funny now that you said you went to Berkeley for a couple of semesters, because I think to myself, no one ever asked me what my GPA was. No one asked me what my degree is. No.
My daughter went to Columbia University,
right?
Got her master's at London School of Economics. And I'm like, honey, there's not a single person ever asked you for any of that information. Did they, you know, and how much? But, you know, the schooling, it just teaches them kind of how to grow up. And
you know, I always thought school was basically a test that you had the ability to complete something.
Yeah.
Because I think about what I've learned the minute I was out, because I had the luxury of having Isaac as a mentor, Isaac Tigert, who did House of Blues, that the Tishes, they were mentors of mine. You know, I had this huge advantage, and I feel so lucky. I found people that wanted me to be successful.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that, like, now I want to hire people that want to be successful.
People can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it in other artists, you know. Deciding to be a musician and a working entertainer is work, and you have you
people don't realize it's work. They just think
people
you
I
walk
want to
out
be rich and famous, and I want to sing songs and go. And it's like, well, no, you have to. I mean, I get to do that. I'm so grateful that I've never worked really in my life. Right. So, but to just do it and do it every day, and put it the priority, and know how to do it, and get people around you that you love, and do it to where it doesn't make you crazy. And God forbid you have a hit song that you have to sing for the rest of your life. You better. And
you hear about that all the time. People go, "Oh, I hate," because
I know.
Todd Rundgren used to tell people, the joke was he would come in, and he loved to mess with me. Mm-hmm. So he would come in and go, "Oh, I'm not playing Hello. It's Me. And if you have a problem with that, Lance will give you a refund."
Right.
That's Lance right there. So he thought that he was hilarious. And of course, one or two people would come up, and I go, "He's going to play Hello. It's Me." It's fine.
I know. I will sing Come to My Window for the rest of my life, and I'm so grateful for it.
Right. And we're going to have to take a break.
All right.
And we have some to pay the bills. And we look forward to the Melissa Etheridge. Make sure you come back out. You want me to say something, Lou? You're giving me that look like I'm missing something. She's my schnurdly.
Sure.
All right. We'll be back in a minute. Thanks.